Hi, Christopher. Assignment 1 looks pretty good. I would like to see you observe a little more closely the values that you're seeing and also the shape of the cast shadow. Plus, I think there's room for more care taken in use of perspective with that box, say, on the left. Um, Now, assignment 2 I've already reviewed. Missing here are your perspective vanishing points. This is 2-point perspective, and also the lines that should extend from the light vanishing point, and you need a shadow vanishing point with lines extending to the bottoms of the shapes there. Looking at your assignment 3, this is a lovely composition. I would suggest revisiting the way you can map out, for instance, fence posts to perfect your spacing with the windows here. And please observe that this subject doesn't neatly match the assignment, which called for cast shadows and or reflections and or changing vanishing points, as in the case of a road over a hilly landscape. Hello, Dana. Thanks for all the care you've invested in the 3 different drawings you've made this week. I can see in assignment 1 you observed the different shadow shapes and took some time to portray them there. The forms of the subjects themselves are drawn quite well. We're going to be getting into ellipsis here, so that should help you. The drawing for assignment 2 is quite beautiful. Lovely touch there. Now with assignment 3, I've taken a close look at that in an earlier phase, and I'm just going to emphasize how drawing shadowing lines across forms can help to control the look of the landscape and assert the horizontality of the landscape. And while you may have dealt with this in the road, I'd suggest also considering the use of lines that are horizontal with the near hilly forms that make diagonal stripes across the lower right part of the page. Well, hi, Christina. I see great care in the way you've handled assignment 1, the observations you've made, and the way you've put them down on paper. Looking at all of your drawings here, I'm wondering if you're working with a charcoal pencil. If you are, say, revert to graphite. This is our required medium for the class. The matter is that charcoal can be exceedingly hard to erase. It's a difficult medium to use, and it's not well suited to our projects in perspective. Alternatively, it might be that you're scanning on a black and white setting or a bitmap setting, something like that. Please use full color when you scan, and that'll better reveal the nature of the medium with which you're drawing. Now, excellent work on assignment 2. Good use of the shadow and light vanishing points. With assignment 3, I'm looking for reflections, cast shadows, and or changing planes, as in a road that traverses a hilly landscape. And I'm not seeing clear use of 2 of the 3 of those. Further, I know that the assignment encourages you to be creative, but I would say your best bet is to take 2 or maybe 3 reference photos that you actually have in hand and work from those to invent versus seeking to invent entirely from your head. Hi, Sarah. This is just beautiful work on your assignment 1 drawing for week 4. The assignment's asking for 5 to 10 drawings, just so you notice that. I love the care with which you both observe the shadows, the subject, and also the care used in portraying these. Looking at this drawing and your assignment 2, I'm wondering whether your paper is square on your table. Make sure that the bottom edge is square so that you don't wind up with a listing composition. Maybe in assignment 2 the paper was even torn. I can see in assignment 2 you're using the shadow and light vanishing points. All the objects do appear to be in one composition, but when we change the lighting on each one, that sort of throws a wrench in, and I know the assignment made it acceptable to do that, but just so you know that it's an unusual situation to have different light sources for different subjects. The drawing of the castle is quite lovely. It seems as though it's not quite finished, but I do applaud your work with reflections there. Dana, you go about your work with such gusto. Looking at your assignment one, I can see you got 15 sketches where it called for 5 to 10. This is excellent work. I like the analysis here. Shadows always extending toward you. I know, so the light might even be in your eye. The bottom one's kind of interesting where the light's high and the shadow sort of sits at the bottom of the subjects like a puddle even. The work with assignment 2 is quite beautiful. It's already been analyzed, I believe, and it looks to me like you've taken another photo of your work for assignment 3, which shows it in a different manner, doesn't it? Taking photos in daylight is definitely the way to go for your portfolio, unless you happen to have a photographic lighting setup. When I regard this new photo, I'm thinking, wow, maybe there was room for some darker values in your drawing. There were a few notes I gave you already, and I hope you'll listen into the draft review if you did not do so already. Hi, Abram. Good work with assignment 1. I noticed that you use a very light touch with values. You might like to take a look at your work juxtaposed with pieces by your classmates. Go to the drafts review for assignment 2 and scroll to the bottom. Now, looking at your assignment 2, I'm not seeing a clear indication of your use of the shadow and light vanishing points. Remember, you want to extend lines out from those. With the shadow vanishing point, the lines get extended to the bottoms of the shapes of your subjects, and with the light vanishing point, extend lines to the tops, and then continue those lines a little further until they intersect on the ground plane, and there is where you have your shadow shape. Now, looking at your drawing of the pier, I'm thinking you may have had this photo or some reference on hand, but I'm not sure it's the best one. First of all, the angle makes things a little difficult, and here what you'd want, I believe, is a reflection and not just a shadow, which means you need to be showing the underside of the pier. Remember, I was saying in week 3, for a good reference for a worm's eye view, you should probably go and take your own photo, and that might call for laying on the ground on your belly in order to get the view you need. Well, I think that as artists, we need to go lengths to get the reference material that will work best for the project at hand. And I'd say that this is a little complicated. I do like the fact that you've added the drawing hand, and it reminds me of this work by Escher that I've added here. Well, hi, Luce. I think your work for assignment 1's okay. I'd say that the shadow situations you're portraying are all sort of similar to one another. It'd be nice to put the light source in a vastly different location. Looking at your assignment 2, I can see that you are grappling with drawing different sorts of forms, and that's good. Probably your best drawing is what I think must be the iPod there at the left, laying on the table. Beautiful. Um, you know, while the assignment says you can use a different light source for the different subjects, I think that's actually a hard thing to do. And when I examine what you're doing here, it appears to me that you've got more than one light source on a given subject, like the bottle, for instance. And I'd say keep it simple for the beginning. Now, about your assignment 3 subject, I am feeling like this isn't subject matter that's best suited to the assignment at hand because we don't see even a road very clearly here. I'm searching your subject. Maybe take a look at what I wrote to Dana in drafts. She has this postcard of a hilly landscape in Afghanistan, and I think her subject is hard to use in this context, and yours just might not be well suited. So I'm looking here for a road that traverses a hilly landscape showing changing vanishing points. I'm looking for cast shadows. I'm looking for reflections.